Here we go. Is it going to freeze? Not sure what it's doing. So anyway, welcome. Has it logged on yet? Let me just check that one out. So yes, we're all go. The video looks a bit different tonight, so don't know why. All blurry or something. But anyway, thank you all for popping on tonight. I'm really, really excited about what I have here for you. You know, so many times this is, I suppose, when you talk about your body shape and things, there's just so many questions around it. And because everybody's shape is completely different, it's something that comes up with all of my clients, and it's something that I really, really want to be able to help you all with. This is pretty much the beginning of how to become confident in your style and what you wear. So while I get a few people popping on, if you can just say hi, let me know that you can hear me and see me properly, because it's actually quite, I don't know if it's, it changed the screen, which I'm not sure why. So I'm going to even go in there. But yeah, so let me know, how's your day been and where are you from? Just pop through the messages just to make sure. I would also like to, be sure that I can actually receive your comments too, because I will be taking, there'll be time where you can ask your questions, and throughout the night as well, if you can just, let me know, if I need to explain something or not. Hi, Kate. Awesome. So that is all going ahead. Hi, Peter. Thank you for joining. Hopefully the video isn't fuzzy, because what I'm looking at is very fuzzy. So anyway, I look a bit blurred, but hopefully that's just my screen and not everybody's. So I will get started now that there's quite a few of you ladies on here, so thank you again for jumping on now. If you even just want to let me know, where you're from, or because it is actually pretty cool to see, where all you ladies are from around. I know a few of you already are locals, but yeah, it would be pretty cool to see. Hi, Shannon. Thank you for jumping on. Okay, so we've also had a lot of people join this group recently, which I'm really excited about. So thank you and welcome to all of you ladies. What I really wanted to do as well tonight is just sort of introduce myself, because there are quite a few ladies here who haven't met me before, and have only sort of just found me as well. So it's nice to sort of know who I am. And just to feel a little bit more comfortable and get to know me a bit more. So very quickly, I'm a mum, I'm a wife, I've got two gorgeous little boys, not gorgeous all the time, but no, they're good. But also I am a certified personal stylist. So I trained for 18 months to become a qualified personal stylist, and I've had about 7 years or so experience as a trained stylist, but I've pretty much spent my whole life shopping and creating outfits for people, so it kind of all tied in very nicely. And I offer obviously face-to-face styling sessions, which has been pretty hard for the last 6 months because we haven't really been able to. But I also have my styling membership, which is all online, and I absolutely love it. And Shannon, you're actually in our membership, which is super exciting, so I'm so glad you're here to see all this as well. But so that is sort of what I do. The membership as well, that is somewhere where I do share lots of my styling tips, and I'm pretty much an open book in there. So all of the ladies have full access to me any time of the day as well. So if they're ever shopping or whatever, they can just pop it in the group and I will be there for them. So it's a very, very cool thing. I absolutely love it. But back to being a stylist. So I became a stylist, one, because I always love clothes. So that's always been something that I just find comes really natural to me. But when I had my first child, I really struggled afterwards for a long time. Well, it felt like forever, really. But I think because everything changed, so my whole body changed, my personality changed, and I just wasn't used to either being the person that I was, because everything was so new, but I didn't understand how to dress for my shape either, because that changed quite a lot. Um, and I just found that like absolutely nothing at all worked for me, and I stopped going out. I stopped being really social. Wasn't as happy, and it was a really, really hard time for me. But I also, you know, it didn't just affect me, it was also my husband as well, because, well, I would start saying, no, I'm not going out wherever. And I would make up the most ridiculous reasons why, instead of just saying, you know what, because I feel like crap in everything that I wear and I don't look good, so I don't want to go anywhere. But there was one day where we were meant to be going out with friends and it was going to be an awesome day. And we were probably about an hour away from going, and then I went into my room to get changed, and I just burst into tears because nothing worked. I felt horrible, and I didn't know what to do, and I just thought, you know what, the easiest thing is me just not go. And I said, you know what, you can go, that's fine, I'll stay home with Ned, and blah blah blah. I'll just stay home, it's fine. Anyway, and then after a bit of a conversation there, then I thought, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I've got to change something. So I went into my room and pulled out everything in my wardrobe, and the place was a bloody mess. It was ridiculous. But what happened then was I ended up creating something that was completely different to what I had ever tried to create. And I mixed and matched for ages. We ended up running late, but that's another story. But the reason that I did this is because I thought, surely there's got to be something in here, and this is what I've done for years. I love clothes and things like that. So this is where I struggled with my body, and I didn't know how to dress for it. And as soon as I put this one particular outfit on, I've walked out and I've looked in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, like it looked really good. And I was like, right, we're off. And so we went out and we had a fantastic day, and I felt so good because I wasn't fidgeting all day and like adjusting my clothes, and I was really comfortable, and I could just be myself without thinking in the background like, oh, is this clinging to me, and is this how do I look, and all of those sort of things. It was the one outfit that I actually found that suited my shape. And when we got home, I just said to Paul, like, I've gone, surely I'm not the only person who has been like this. And, surely there's others who are feeling really frustrated with what to choose for their shape and, how to look really good and feel good in themselves. And that was when I decided to do training, and that is where I chose the Australian Style Institute, because I don't want any women to feel like that. I don't want them to feel the way that I felt. And to be able to go from feeling that way into feeling incredibly confident in, what I choose to wear because I know exactly how to do it, that is what I want for everybody. And yeah, so that is why I do what I do. It all came down to body shape styling, and that was probably, it was my breaking point. But that was also where I found what I absolutely love doing, and that's what gets me really excited about helping all of my clients and my members, is just to feel really, really good about yourself, but to have that knowledge behind it as well, so that you can go in and you can be confident in what you're going to do. You don't just happen to stumble across a great outfit, you know how to create it. So that is, that's what I'm going to be talking all about tonight, is how you can also discover, what your shape is, and also give you ideas on how you can dress your shape so that it's really flattering, you feel comfortable, and you can feel confident in it. So, let me know, like, have you ladies felt that way before, where you're just like, oh, nothing's working, and it's it can be really, really hard and so frustrating. So this will definitely help you. So okay. Now, I will, if you haven't already grabbed a pen and paper, please do so, because there's heaps of tips in here that you can, take to make your own. So, now, sorry, I'm just going through I just don't want to I want to make sure that I'm not skipping past anything. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, cool. Now, I'll be taking you through some of those steps tonight, and I'm really looking forward to you guys being able to put this into practice as well. So please let me know how you go with it. Now, one of the biggest questions that I get asked, or questions I suppose that a lot of women have, is, what shape am I? And that's obviously a great question, because everywhere you look, people are talking about, are you a pear? Are you an apple? Are you, like anything? That could be bananas. I don't, everyone's talking about all these different shapes. And the real thing is, do you want to be pigeonholed into a particular shape, or do you want to learn how to dress for yourself? Because you've got to think of that end goal. Like, well, what is it that you want? Do you want to just know a fruit shape that you are, or are you wanting to learn and discover how to dress for your exact body? Now, I don't, with all of my clients, members and everything, and I talk about this quite a lot with them, is I will never pigeonhole someone into one of those shapes. I obviously can see technically what shape they are, but when it comes to dressing, it doesn't really matter, because for me, for example, I'm an hourglass shape, but then when I gain weight, I become a pear. And that is what happens with almost everybody. You don't generally gain weight in all the same, it doesn't spread out evenly. And that's like when people lose weight and they say, oh, it just comes straight off my boobs, or it comes straight off here, and oh, I can't shake the weight on my legs and things like that. That's because your body doesn't shrink or expand in exactly the same way. So what's going to happen is, if, like me, for example, when I was an hourglass and then all of a sudden I became a pear, I was like, what the hell do you do? So that is why we talk more about your actual body than any form of shape. So from now on in, I would really, really appreciate it if you didn't pigeonhole yourself into, I'm a this. What we need to do is focus on how we want to style our body. So, and that's, when I do gain weight and I'm a pear, this is the exact reason why it doesn't always work for people, is I actually really like my hips and my bum. So everything that you'll find, if you go searching and Google or check out YouTube, I would say that probably 95% of the videos that you'll see is people saying, if you're a pear shape, you need to minimize this area. And, you've got to not draw attention to your bum, and you've got to wear, these type of jeans so it slims your hips and things. But if you like looking, if you like your hips and you like your bum, you're doing the exact opposite of what you actually want. So that is, because I look absolutely I feel like I look ridiculous when I dress for a pear shape, because that's not me. It's not, accentuating my best, I think my best features and things like that. So, definitely you can scrap all of the shapes and go this way from now on. It will help you a lot. So, okay, so the first thing, very, very first thing that everybody needs to have is a full length mirror. Now, I talk about this obviously with my clients, with all of my members, is you definitely need a full length mirror. The reason for that is you need to be able to see yourself in one glance. Seeing only your top half or only your bottom half at once is definitely not going to help you dress for your body shape, because you're only seeing half of it. So there's, and I used to do this, and I've been to quite a few clients where they have to stand on a stool to then go into the bathroom and they see that and then they stand up on the stool and then they can sort of see their bottom half. It's not the same thing. You definitely need a full length mirror. So you just don't know if your shape is balanced if you can't see everything at once. And you can pick them up for, like $20 at Kmart or Target or something like that. But yeah, it's extra bonus points if you can have it accessible, like out on display, so that you can always easily see it. Okay, now what I'm wanting you to do, so when you, maybe tonight, maybe in the morning, very soon though, while it's still fresh in your mind, I really want you to go and stand in front of the mirror, and you just need to have a look at yourself. And I just really want to say as well, please be very kind to how you speak to yourself. This is something that it is so important that you're kind and you speak nicely about the person in that mirror. Please don't go in there and go, oh, yeah, and pick your faults or whatever it is that you just need to be nice to yourself, because because you just should. It makes you feel better and, confidence building and all of those sort of reasons. But also what you actually see in the mirror, we distort by 80% to the negative, which is huge. So that means that when you look in the mirror and you see yourself there, you're actually not seeing the real you, because we automatically distort what we see by that much. And that's a really hard thing. It's and it can be, it's just something that we do. Men don't distort themselves as much as us, but they still do as well. So please be kind to yourself, because what you're seeing in there actually isn't even as good as what everybody else gets to see. Now, I always and at the start, like, it was really hard for me. Like, this is stuff that I put into practice every single day as well. It's not something that, you just go, oh, great, I'm going to do that and that will be fine forever. It is something that you practice. And, I still look at myself in the mirror and I can quickly jump to all these faults, and then I stop myself. I'm like, no, I would never say that to a friend. And that's, I want you to talk to yourself like you'd be talking to your girlfriend. But yeah. Now, what you need to do is you just need to look at where you look first, and then where you look second, and so on. And then when you're looking at those areas, think about what it is that you're thinking. So for me, I instantly look straight at my tummy, and it's always been an area that I want to minimize. And so, I look there and I check that, is it minimized? But then I look straight to my bum, and then I look sort of up to around here and my face, and my legs. Now I go through each of those areas and go, okay, so, obviously I'm wanting to minimize my tummy. And then I look at my butt and I'm like, it's a good butt, because, I like my butt. So if you guys can do that, then go ahead and talk to yourself that way, because it's, incredibly mood boosting. And then, I look up here and I'm like, okay, because I love, which I don't have in tonight, but I love statement earrings and things. So, I'm happy to wear brighter colors up top. So what happens then is I get to go, okay, well, I'm wanting to minimize my tummy, but I'm actually wanting to enhance quite a few other areas. And that is what we want for you. So you need to choose 3 different areas of your body that you love and that you think, okay, yep, I can definitely enhance that, or at least draw attention to. That is where you're going to be able to start dressing and creating flattering outfits. So try to, if you can't think of those 3 things and you stand in front of the mirror and you're just like, I don't know, I've got like 1, maybe 2 areas, or if you don't have any, even send us a photo, pop it into the group. So I'm struggling with areas, because, and I was talking to, some ladies today, and they it could be your wrists. It could be any part of your body at all. It could be your ears. It could be your teeth. It could be, anything like that, as long as you can come up with 3. Now, if you can't come up with the 3, I really would love for you to either send a photo into this group. We can definitely help you find them, or ask your husband or a girlfriend or, anybody that, you really do trust, and say, look, I'm really struggling to find things that I love about my shape. Can you please help me with that? And I tell you what, people will be like, wow, you've got this and this and this and this. Okay, so yes, I would love for you to do that either tonight before you go to bed while it's fresh, or first thing in the morning. Now, what I also like to do is write those 3 things on your full length mirror, because every time you go to create an outfit, you can look at yourself and go, okay, have I highlighted X, Y, and Z? And if you haven't, then that might be something that you can then add to your outfit, or you might need to take away because it's not highlighted there. So definitely find those 3 things. And just, if it's 15 things, that's awesome. But if you're wanting to learn how to really style your own shape, definitely start with at least 3. Now, because this is something as well, this is something that we talk about and actually put into action in the membership. And this is where it might sound really simple doing these 3 things, and finding these 3 areas, but when you see the difference that it makes to people, and I've felt it, I've been there, it starts making sense, and you start really appreciating your own shape, and you start building confidence as well in that. So please make sure you do this. And this is also why I've created the Style and Confidence Revolution, the membership, because then it is a really cool community where we can all get together and really help each other build our self-esteem, our confidence, obviously our personal style as well. There's some really cool videos in there with all the different clothes and things like that. But everything's easier with support. And so if you want to be building your style, your confidence, anything like that, definitely the membership is for you. So I'll end up putting a link in the description of this video so that you can also, just click on there and join it, because it is open at the moment. It's not always open. So if you're needing that, because I even love it, like even if you're stuck with what to wear, people can pop it into the group like, oh, I don't know what to wear with this. So they post a photo, and then we can be like, oh, you can do this and you can do this for that. And so I've actually recorded as well, which I haven't told them. So Shannon, if you're still here, I've actually recorded all jackets, my top picks for jackets for spring and summer. So that video is about to get launched inside the group, which I'm super excited. So what I do is I shop online for all of my members. They can just send me, post it into the group, anything that they're looking for. And then I record videos of me shopping online, and I get to select which items that they can have, where the stores are, and you can actually shop directly from the video. So it is super, super cool. But I can't wait for them to see that, because there's some beautiful jackets. Because I always find that a lot of clients and things, they do struggle with that sort of jacket around, those warmer months. It's fine during the, autumn and winter, but come spring and summer, it's kind of like that in-betweeny thing. So that's going to be really cool. So but yes, now also, okay, so now that you have your 3 favorite areas, I'm going to talk to you about illusion dressing. So this is the fun part. This is where the, your creative side can come out. This is I just love this. So illusion dressing, if you haven't heard of illusion dressing before, this is hands down the most powerful tool that you can use when it comes to creating outfits. This is, you know, illusion dressing. It will bring focus to areas, but this is where you can, if you choose to, you can appear taller or shorter or slimmer or broader. It's up to you. However you want to look and feel, then this is where illusion dressing comes in. It is super awesome. So the other one is, I suppose with illusion dressing, you can minimize certain areas, but a lot of it comes down to highlighting others, because one of the biggest, I suppose, issues that people come across is when they're trying to disguise or minimize an area, they tend to just naturally, which is obviously, yeah, very easy to do because a lot of us do it, is you just feel like you want to just cover it. So we put all this material over us that's really like flowy and, you know, and 80% of the time, 90% of the time, all it does is actually create more bulk, and people's eyes are going directly where you're not wanting it to go. So they're actually creating like focus and attention in the exact wrong spots that they're wanting. So if you feel like you do that and you just chuck on big things just to cover up, a lot of the time you're doing an injustice to yourself. Obviously, I'm not going to turn you into, you know, wearing like tight fitting clothes and things, but it's just how you wear them. So darker colors will always receive less attention. So that's a pretty easy thing. And a lot of people that I talk to, you know, they love to wear black because, you know, black's slimming and it's easy to wear and it goes with everything and things like that. Now, that's great. And if you love black because you actually love black, then go for it. But if you're wearing lots of black because it's slimming on you, please consider where you're wearing it. So, because if you wear all black at once, it doesn't actually really do anything. Kind of defeats the purpose of having it made like make you look slimming, because if you're just all in black, you look the same size anyway. Using black though in an outfit can be incredible. So you just need to focus on where it is that you're wanting to minimize. So if it's your tummy, you would wear a darker color sort of top, especially around that sort of midsection area, but then use something different in your jeans. So you might even, instead of going for a dark blue, you might either go sort of lighter blue or even a khaki. You could have pockets and things like that on your jeans, because that's going to, you know, take the focus away from your tummy. So some of the ways to bring attention somewhere is bright colors. So naturally we are going to look at the bright colors. That's just what we do. It's very natural for us. So if you're wanting to minimize certain areas, make sure your bright colors aren't anywhere near there. Bring them completely away. So whether you choose a bright bold lipstick or statement earrings or, you know, bangle or even shoes, anything that you choose. And if you feel like you carry heaps of weight, you know, through your legs, maybe a really cool, vibrant top is what you need. So that, yeah, it just works in really well together. Accessories, so any sort of accessories, so your shoes, bags, all of your jewelry, you know, hair accessories, yeah, anything like that, you know, a nice scarf. All of those will bring focus to where you're wanting to go. So these are what you're going to use with your 3 areas that you're wanting to highlight. Think of all these. So please, you can write them all down if you want. So the next one is where the fabric finishes. Now, this is incredibly important. People's eyes will look exactly where that fabric finishes. So if you're wanting to minimize your hips, you don't need to be wearing fabric that comes down past, you know, sitting on top of your hips, because all it does is it draws everybody's eyes straight there. So you want to be going either longer than your hips or above your hips. When you go straight on there, that's all that people will be able to see. But that also goes for, you know, jackets and your tops and things. You know, if you're wanting to, if you feel like, let's say you feel like your shoulders are a lot broader than your hips, you don't want to be wearing any sort of tops that don't have like a nice structured seam on there. And if anything, your seam wants to be even further in from your shoulder, because wherever that seam is, that's where people are going to look. And if you're wearing a t-shirt or a top, I don't know if you can see, this one's a bad example because it has no seam. But if you've got a t-shirt that is, the seam's like here, what's going to end up happening is you're actually looking like your body is a lot wider than what it actually is. Whereas if a seam is finishing up, sitting right on top of your shoulder, you look a lot more narrow. So depending on how you're wanting to balance your shape, you know, if you're wanting to, you know, bring in your shoulders because your hips are a little bit smaller, then you want to make sure that you've got seams coming straight up. If you feel like your hips, you know, are a lot bigger than what your shoulders are, then you might want to extend your tops to sort of just create a little bit more, yeah, more width there. Because, yeah, you are wanting to, you know, try to aim for, you know, the shoulders and the hips to be sort of matching. So if that's what you're obviously wanting to, but if you love your broad shoulders, then go for it, and you can wear whatever you want to wear. But yeah, if you're wanting to sort of bring them in, or if you're wanting to make them wider to match your hips, then they're the type of things that we need to think about. Oh, sorry, sorry, I'm late. Just put babies to bed. Oh, that's cute. Hopefully they all fall asleep nice and well for you. I think mine are still, you know, they'll be up. Now, the next one. Okay, so lines. Lines are a really good one too. So this is something that your eyes just naturally follow lines. So again, just like the seams on things, but obviously if you can get vertical lines are going to be really good if you're wanting to appear slimmer and taller, as opposed to horizontal lines will just naturally sort of make you wider. Now, they're great to use in some tops, and especially in some areas as well. But yeah, just keep in mind on those. But yeah, anything with vertical stripes are going to be great to really help you, yeah, appear taller. Patterns. So similar to lines, but with patterns, there's so many tops available as well. And this is what I love, you know, especially when I shop online, because that's pretty much all we've been able to do for 6 months. But when I shop online for my members, I love looking at the patterns and the cuts of the tops. So I'll always sort of, if there's something that, you know, it might start a really soft gradual pattern and then it's more of a bolder pattern around this, around your sort of tummy and things like that, then I'll be like, okay, this is going to be fantastic. Because if you're wanting to bring your shoulders in, because there's some ladies who feel quite sort of broad up top, make sure the main pattern and focus is coming down so that your shoulders are actually coming in and the rest is coming out, so it can be balanced. So patterns are something that you can really, really use to your advantage. And even, you know, with pants as well, if you love your legs and you feel like you need to cover your tummy and things, go crazy with the pants. So that could be colors, that can also be pockets are really, really good to draw attention away from certain areas, because obviously, yeah, they're going to draw attention at somewhere else. So for anyone who feels like their top half is a lot bigger as well, then their bottom half, having pockets and detailing is incredibly important. It really does help balance it out. So, and that's the same with any kind of, you know, distressed jeans and things like that. Just have a play with it. And yeah, but if you're feeling like you your legs are heavier, I would most of the time, unless you love the style. So this, that's a whole nother story, is depending on, your personal style and what you actually love and feel really comfortable in. But going for something that is distressed is going to bring attention to your thighs, and, your legs in general. So if that's something that you're wanting to minimize or bring attention away from, just because, distressed denim might be, really trendy and things like that, doesn't mean that it does work for you. So you don't have to fall into trend base. Just if you're wanting to have, really flattering outfits, please make sure you choose outfits that are suited to your body, and also your personal style. You don't have to follow trends, regardless of who's wearing them and who's told you to do what. Yeah, you don't have to. So go for what works for you. I'm just going to have a quick drink because I'm talking. Okay. Now, some more is, which I think we're nearly done, sort of. Okay, distress detailing. Oh, yeah, so any of the detailing. So there could be, sequins, or there could be different, textures and things like that on tops, and on bottoms as well. So anything like that, keep an eye on it. And there might even be things, like in your own wardrobe, and you put on a top and you might not be able to put your finger on why you don't like it. You might be just like, oh, it's just something about it. But if you've written these down, go back and have a look at it and say, well, I wonder if it's got anything to do with, the pattern on it, or where the fabric's finishing, things like that. So there is also, if the fabric is finishing in an area, like let's say your hips and things, or any area around there that you feel like you're wanting to minimize, styling it a different way can also be the solution. So don't go throwing things out because it doesn't fall at the right place. Because, yeah, and even, I've even done videos, and I did a knot and tuck style tutorial, and so that's all inside the membership, and that goes through exactly how to tuck tops and why you might tuck them versus why you might knot them, and whereabouts to knot them, and also how to knot them. Because sometimes with the knotted ones, you can end up just creating heaps of bulk around your tummy area, whereas, if you do it certain ways, yeah, it won't do that. So yeah, that is also inside there. Now, the other one to bring attention somewhere is definitely lipstick. This is such a underused styling tip, maybe, I think people forget about the importance of it. So you can go crazy with lipstick. Like, this is something that is really going to be in your personality as well. But I've had lots of clients as well who are presenters. So they will get up and they'll do their public speaking, and obviously I create their outfits and things like that for them. And everything comes down to illusion dressing, and I talk, this is also very specific for them, because being public speaker, and some of their presentations would go for, an hour and a half or so. So I needed to keep people really focused on what they were saying, not just what they were wearing. So, and I actually noticed that a lot with, public speakers. And if you're at a conference, or if you're, wherever you are, and they're wearing these like awesome, awesome shoes, you forget what they're even talking about, because you're so focused on, like, your eyes just keep getting drawn to these amazing shoes that they're wearing, that you've got no idea what they're talking about. So, or is that just me? No, that's a lot of people. Because I actually left one place, like, once it had finished, obviously, and the very first thing that everyone walked out saying, and she was amazing, this woman, like, she knew her stuff. She was like we should have been just like enthralled, and we all just said how good were her shoes. It's like that's what we took away from, you know, that entire thing. We're like, wow, she had these great shoes. So anyway, but what you want to focus on, and this is where I talk about lipstick as well, it is so important. And, you know, if you're, even if you're a teacher or, you know, anything, and you do any job where you actually really need people to pay attention to you and to listen to you, wearing some kind of lipstick is going to really help you, because people will naturally go to where there's, you know, some sort of color. And, you know, and maybe notice this, so next time you are out and listening to public speakers and things, have a notice sort of what they're wearing. If they're wearing sort of brighter colors up here, which a lot of women will wear, like a statement necklace, which is awesome because it's still bringing the attention up. So yeah, it's just things like that. This is where, you know, illusion dressing is incredible and really, really important. But obviously I could talk for hours about those. But yeah, so now this one is top 5 tips for illusion dressing. So obviously those ones are all the different ways that you can, you know, bring attention to different areas of your body. Now I'm just going to see that. Oh yeah. Let me know if you have any questions about that, because there was quite a lot of information in there. So let me know how it's going, and if you, yeah, if that all makes sense to you. So now the 5 tips for illusion dressing. So these are just my top 5. For people who are wanting to create height, nude shoes, you know, and any shoes that you can show as much skin as possible. That is really, really important. So, you know, around your, like on the top of your foot, and also your ankles, and also to wear pointed shoes. So those sort of ones, what's going to happen is it will actually elongate your legs, and you'll appear taller, and you'll also appear slimmer because they have lengthened everything. So really, really important there. That's another, don't worry, I'll because yeah, the other one is making sure that those nudes are actually your skin tone nude. So not just, you know, any brown, light brown shoe. If you're wanting to really appear taller, you need to find something that is actually matching your skin tone. So that is something that is, yeah, it can really make a huge difference, because if it's a completely different skin tone, it doesn't really create that same sort of look. Minimizing tummy. So darker colors in that area compared to your bottoms and around shoulders. So yeah, any sort of color here, but darker around there. Now there are these tops. They're like a spliced hem top, and it's pretty much a sorry, I'm just reading. Karen, best I go and get some nude. Yep. Who doesn't want long legs? That's right, you know, but they're good. Yeah, I've done a few little videos for with my members, and it's about, like, it's inside my own wardrobe, and so I take them on this little, I say tour, but like the wardrobe's small, so it's not like I'm walking around too far. But here, and I was saying about you know, the importance of having everything out on display and how I set it up and all of those sort of things. And then I looked at my shoes and they were pretty much all tan, because I'm like, obviously I like to make my legs look a lot longer. I'm like, maybe I don't need any more tan shoes. I probably will. I'll keep getting them. They're awesome. But yeah, so definitely, Karen, you can go get them. Yeah, so these tops, so they have this like, yeah, it's a spliced hem. So it's pretty much a normal top, and then it's got this extra layer down the bottom, and most of the time it will be in a different color, but it's always in a different material. So they're absolutely fantastic. I I rave on about those tops. They're just so flattering. Oh, they're so good. So yes, definitely get those ones. If you're wanting to minimize your hips. Now, a curved hem is definitely the way to go. So instead of having your tops that are just a straight cut, unless you're going to tuck them or tie it in a knot or something like that. But if you're just wearing your top out, having a curved hem is like so important for that. So what that does is it actually brings the eye in, and because it sort of cuts up, it's hard because it's not a full length thing, but because it sort of cuts up on the side of your hips, the attention actually isn't sitting at your hips, it's sitting sort of just above it. But what a lot of us love is that you still feel like you have that sort of coverage around there. So it sort of covers down the front, and it also is another scooped curved hem at the back. If you have a top that is just the curved at the front and it's got like a split seam, so then it's just a square at the back, that's perfectly fine too, as long as the front is a curved hem. That is going to be a game changer. I've had clients, who I had 7 years ago, and they'll still comment and say, oh, yep, it's just made a massive difference to me. And I've even had like my members and things just go, what? Like that has just changed everything. So there are so many little tips like this that, it can make styling for you so much easier. But yeah, definitely curved hem if you're wanting to minimize your hips. The other one is, again, just to be really careful of where that fabric finishes. Don't let it finish on the widest part of your hips because it's only going to make it wider. Now, if for ladies who want to enhance their bum, so if they feel like, they've got either like a flat bum or it's just not big enough or whatever it might be, always wear bottoms that have pockets on the back. So, and even having detailing on the pockets is really good. That's something that probably, and a lot of people don't look at, but can make a huge difference to you. Wear tops that also don't necessarily cover your bum. So, because what ends up happening is you can end up just looking even more sort of straight up and down. So if you're really wanting to, add a bit of volume and things there, try not to just hide it all the time. The other one is finding tops that have a split seam at the back of the top. So it's almost like an upside down, kind of like a thing, I suppose. But it's when the top sort of comes down at the back and then straight in the middle of it, it's sort of cut. So it's like a wedge sort of look. That will actually make your bum look bigger. So yeah, if you're wanting to do that. If you're wanting to minimize your top, minimize your bum, probably don't go for a top like that because it's going to make it a lot bigger. Okay, where am I here? Cool. Enhancing your waist. So this is a really cool tip, and I really hope you ladies are writing this down because there's they probably don't sound like these will make a huge difference, but trust me, they're massive. They're kind of like the game changers of dressing for your shape. So the rest though, I've got so many tips. But yeah, a lot of my members, they get everything. So but enhancing your waist, I want you to roll up as much as you can. Roll up your sleeves. So whether that be if you've got a blazer or even, to just cuff the sleeves on your denim jacket, and if you're even just wearing a knitted top, just to push the sleeves up a little bit. Now, this one, hang on, because I can't really see myself. Where is it? There. So if you just sort of do it up even to about there, so it's sort of midway on your forearm, what that ends up doing is if you've pushed that up, instead of wearing it fully down, if you push that up, it will actually start really bringing attention to your waist, and will actually minimize your entire width of your body. So that is, it's incredible the difference that it makes. And I've spoken to a lot of, clients and members and things, and I've said to them, just give it a go. And they're like, okay, thinking that's not going to make much of a difference. But it does, because as soon as they do it, they're like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, yeah, so that is a really, really cool one. So please remember to do that, because there's even sometimes, like, I see women trying on tops and things, and they're like, oh no, it's not right for me. But all it might need is the sleeves to be pushed up a little bit and, accessorize, and it looks fantastic. Okay, so I'm nearly finished. So thank you to everybody who has jumped on here. And yeah, so I've still got a few more tips to give away. Yeah, so the next one is also wearing a long necklace that sits kind of around your waist. So that actually distracts your eye as well. Like, so with your tummy and things, wearing this longer necklace is going to really help, because it brings your whole body in, and the whole focus is going to be more around your waist than around your tummy. So it just depends on the length that you go for. Obviously, if you go for a super long one and it's hanging too low, that will probably bring some attention to your tummy. But if you just have it so it sits, just over your bust, that's absolutely perfect. They're generally about a 60 to 70 centimeter necklace. So something along there, really important to have that as well. It distracts the eye, it brings you in, it does, everything that you're sort of wanting to do. So yeah, it's a win-win, those ones. So if you don't already have one, definitely get it. So now, ladies, this is just a taste of the kind of styling tips and advice, that I do give to all of my members inside the Revolution. And like, it's $19 a month. So you can't afford not to be in it, especially while the doors are open. It's, like, to think that this is just those like small tweaks. Imagine what it's like when you start getting, those bigger things as well. It's incredible. So, and really, like, imagine how much money you're going to save, because you're not going to be buying the wrong things anymore. And you're going to be shopping and, actually purchasing things that your wardrobe needs, but also what your body shape and your personal style needs. So it's like a no-brainer. It is so freaking good in there. I absolutely love it. And there's a reason that, like, my members have been in there since March. Well, a lot of them have been in there since March, and 100% of my members have stayed in. So, that's showing that it's definitely worth it. It is so valuable being in there, and I love it. It's just an awesome, awesome community. And the best thing as well is, so I've told all of my members about it. So they actually have now their own exclusive portal on my website, so they can log in. And as soon as you become a member, so as soon as you sign up, and there's no lock-in contract or anything like that, you can just, if you want to cancel, you can cancel. That's fine. But as soon as you do join, you actually get like instant access to everything that we've done. So everything since March is still available for you instantly. The amount of videos and tutorials, and I dig really deep into a lot of this sort of thing, but even like wardrobe makeovers and just the shopping videos as well, so shopping online, they're just everywhere. There's also a wardrobe checklist, which is the best. It's really, really important to have. But yeah, so you actually get full access to everything, plus your own private community as well on Facebook, which you have full access to me. So each fortnight I do a live Q&A and styling session just over Facebook. So any questions that you have, regardless, like if it's a really small question or something that's quite in depth, which a lot of my members have had, so I actually make complete videos based just on those questions. But yeah, you just post it in there. If you don't know what to wear that day, you post it in. Can't find something, you ask. It's yeah, you pretty much have a personal stylist in your pocket the whole time. It's so cool. It's yeah, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, if if you're frustrated at all with your style or shape or anything, you just need to be in there. I'm there to help, and so is everyone else. And we would love for you to join us in there. It's an awesome, awesome little community. So, but yeah, as always, so I'll pop the link for you in the comments as well as in the header of this. But yeah, as always, remember that you're absolutely beautiful. So make sure you get those 3 things that you love. Make sure you do it. And if you can't, think of it, ask me. Post it into the group and we will help you get there, because yeah, it's so, so important that, you feel really good about yourself and that you can step out and be really confident, in your style, but also with the body that you're in. So, yes, I think that's it. If you have found this really helpful tonight, I would absolutely love it if you could also invite your girlfriends to this group. So obviously I do this, like, this is all free. This is just because I love what I do. And yeah, I would really, really appreciate it if we can sort of start spreading that word and be able to help a lot more women everywhere. So if you can do that for me, that would be incredible. But yeah, again, I would also love to see you in the Style and Confidence Revolution. So yeah, you can head to my website and it is all there ready to go. And yeah, but yeah, so I think, that will be it from me. Thank you again so, so much for jumping on here live tonight. Yeah, and if this was a replay, just enter in replay in the comments. But yeah, that'd be wonderful. Okay, hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks again for jumping on, and I will see you all really soon.